welcome to my channel. In today's video, I'll be sharing 3 Valentine's Day decor DIYs. Valentine's Day is just around the corner. It's about a month away, so I wanted to get started on all of the projects that I had planned for this year. All of the projects that I'll be showing you today were all really easy to do. If you're wanting to see more Valentine's Day decor DIYs, be sure to give this video a thumbs up and share it with your friends. Also, please let me know in the comments down below. Let's go ahead and jump right into today's projects. Moving right on into DIY number 1, the materials I used to make this one were a 5x7 frame that I got from Dollar Tree, Folk Art chalk paint in Tuscan Red, Waverly chalk paint in Plaster, paintbrushes, jute, burlap ribbon from Dollar Tree, crocheted ribbon from Hobby Lobby, scissors, my hot glue gun, music note craft paper from Hobby Lobby, and wooden hearts from Dollar Tree. I'm first starting out by taking my 5x7 frame apart and then using the backing of the frame as a guide to help me trace out my music note paper. Once I have that all traced, I'm then cutting my paper down to size. Next, I'm painting my frame with my chalk paint in the color Plaster. I did do 2 coats of this paint. Since my frame had that shiny texture, I wanted to make sure that it was completely covered and that my paint didn't look streaky. I'm using the back side of this wooden ornament heart from Dollar Tree, and I'm painting it in my chalk paint color Tuscan Red, and I only did 1 coat of this paint. Next, I'm measuring how long I want this burlap ribbon to be to go across my heart, and then I'm cutting that down into a smaller strip. Once I have the ribbon cut down to the size that I want it, I'm then gluing the ends of the ribbon on the back side of the heart so that the ribbon is wrapped around the front. I'm measuring this crochet ribbon along the front of my heart, cutting that down to size, and then gluing the ends of the ribbon along the back side of the heart over top of the burlap ribbon that I just attached. Now I'm attaching my music note paper onto the backing part of my frame. I'm just using some hot glue along all of the backing and then pressing the paper over top. I'm then stringing a piece of jute through the already pre-drilled hole that's in my wooden heart. I'm then putting my frame back together, but I'm not closing the back side of it on yet. I'm going to be stringing the jute that's on the heart through the very top center of my frame. This is going to be hanging on the top of the glass like an ornament. Once I have that centered where I want it, I close the frame up and then just hot glue the jute piece down along the back side. And that was the last step for this project, and this is my framed wooden heart all finished. I love how this one turned out. It was so easy to do. It's really simple, but yet still really beautiful at the same time. Moving on into DIY number 2, the materials I used to make this one were a 5-inch foam ball from Michaels, a glass candlestick from Dollar Tree, rose stems. These ones I'm using from a previous project, so they're already cut, Waverly chalk paint in Plaster, paintbrushes, and some jute. I started this project out by painting my glass candlestick holder with my chalk paint in the color Plaster. I did have to do 3 different coats of this paint. I would have preferred to use a white spray paint, but I was all out, so if you have spray paint, that would work a lot better. When painting chalk paint over glass, I find that it helps if you wait between each coat a while. You may think that it's dry, but it might not be, and if the paint's not completely dry, it usually pulls up from the glass. Next, I'm taking some of these roses that I'm using from a previous project. Mine are already cut, but if yours are not cut, you'll just need to cut them down to where you still have a good amount of the stem left on the rose, because you're going to be placing that stem right into the foam ball. I'm using 2 different color roses, this ivory and yellow color. I really love how they go together. I'm just placing each stem of the rose into the foam ball, and as I go along, I'm just switching up the colors as I feel needed. This project could not get any easier. I'm literally just placing the stem of each rose into the ball, and I'm leaving the bottom of the ball uncovered with roses because I'm going to be gluing that part onto my candlestick. Now that I have my ball all completely covered with roses, I'm placing some hot glue on the very top of my candlestick, a generous amount I would say, and then just placing the center of the bottom of that ball right on the glue to attach it. You could leave it just like this, but I decided I wanted to add a piece of jute around the center of my candlestick. I doubled up my jute and then wrapped it around the middle of my candlestick around 3 times and then just tied a simple bow. I cut off any of the long ends of the jute, and that was it for this project. That was the last step. This is my Rose Topiary all finished. This one was also so easy to do, and it would be great as a centerpiece. This project could even be completed using all products from Dollar Tree. Now moving on to the third and final DIY for today. The products I used to make this one were this heart-shaped wreath form from Dollar Tree, striped fabric from Hobby Lobby, cream color fabric from Hobby Lobby, and also burlap fabric from Hobby Lobby, pearl berry stems from Hobby Lobby, crocheted ribbon also from Hobby Lobby, jute, scissors, and my hot glue gun. For this project, I'm starting by cutting my striped fabric into strips, and the size that I'm cutting my strips into is 1 inch in width by 8 inches in length. I'm then folding my fabric in half so that I can get more strips out of each cut that I make to my fabric. I'm then using that single cut strip that I already made as a guide to help me finish cutting my other strips the exact same size. For this striped fabric, I am using scrap fabric, so I'm not 100% sure on the exact number of fabric that I used, but I would say it was probably a little over 1/4 yard. I'm then measuring this cream color fabric the same as I did the striped fabric. I'm doing this one as well with the 1 inch width by 8 inches long. For this fabric, I used the same amount as the striped, about a little over 1/4 yard. For this burlap fabric, I'm not using as many strips of this on my wreath, so I don't have to cut as many of them, but I am doing them a little bit larger than the other strips. I'm cutting these ones at 3 inches widthwise by 10 inches long, and I couldn't double up the fabric when cutting since burlap is a little bit thicker. Next, I'm starting to assemble my wreath. I have all of my pre-cut strips of fabric laid out next to me, and I'm starting to just tie on each strip of fabric onto the wires of the wreath. I'm switching between the striped color and the cream color as I go. I'll do a cream color one, then striped, creamed, then striped again. I'm just tying each strip of fabric over top of the wires of the heart wreath form. And every so often I'll add a strip of that burlap fabric that I had cut, and I'm doing it the same as I did the other pieces of fabric. I'm just tying it in a knot around one of the wires, and I'll do like one on the inner part, and then a little while later I'll do another one on the middle wire, and then a little while later I'll do one on the outer wire. Now I'm tying on some of this crocheted ribbon that I picked up from Hobby Lobby. I'm adding it throughout my entire wreath. I'm moving over the strips that I've already tied on and then just tying the crocheted ribbon around one of the wires, and I'm just adding them wherever I think that they're needed. Next, I'm using some scissors to cut these pearl berries off of their stems. This is going to make it a little bit easier for me to attach them to my wreath. To attach the berries to my wreath, I'm placing hot glue right on the stem. Then I'm placing the stem inside of one of the knots on my strips of fabric, and I'm continuing to do that same step until I have these berries all the way around my wreath. It can sometimes be a little tricky getting each stem inside of the knots, but it will definitely help the stem stay in place. And for the last step, I'm adding a hanger to my wreath using a piece of jute. I'm tying the jute along the back side of my wreath on the top wire. Here is my heart-shaped rag wreath all finished. I love how all of these colors look together, and this one was again really easy, just like the other projects in today's video. This one took a little bit longer because you had to tie on all of the fabric, but I really love the end result. I hope you guys enjoyed all 3 of today's Valentine's DIYs. If you did, please give this video a thumbs up and share it with your friends. Also, let me know in the comments down below which project from today's video was your favorite. If you're not subscribed, I would love it if you would subscribe. Be sure to hit that notification bell so that you don't miss out on any of my future videos. Thank you so much for watching.